Hello, friends, and welcome to our channel Nurses Lifeline Learning. A wound is more than just a break in the skin, it is the body's natural response to injury. From minor cuts to deep surgical wounds, the healing process is a complex journey involving several stages. So, today's video we will discuss about the wound healing. So, in this, we will cover the types of wound, what is wound, types of wound, and what are the factors that are affecting the wound healing, what are the complications, and what are the stages of wound healing. So let's start with the topic. So what is the wound? So when there is any breakage or cut in the continuity of any body structure in our skin, that can be internal or it can be external, and that will be caused by any physical mean. So here in this image you can see the patient is having injury or wound on the skin, so we can see it from outside also. So classification of wound, if we will see, there are two according to the skin integrity: open wound and closed wound. And according to the cause, there is an intentional and surgical wound and unintentional wound. So here you can see and you can easily differentiate between the open wound and the closed wound. So in our picture you can see that closed wound, there is skin is intact, there is no injury from outside, the inside patient is having the injury. So example, if you will take like hematoma, the skin will not break. And in open wound you can see here the scar on the skin of the patient. So you can see abrasions, lacerations, if the patient will any dog bite occurs or any puncture injury occurs to the skin. Second, we have seen intentional and unintentional. So you can see intentional, that will be made by any healthcare professionals for therapeutic purpose or any interventions, like the patient has undergone for a surgery, so doctor will make the or surgeon will make the wound on the skin. Second is the unintentional wound. Unintentional wound is occurs because of any accidental injury, like skin will tear, it may be because of road traffic accident, any trauma, patient has fall from somewhere, so that will patient will get injury. So now according to the severity, if we'll see, there is a superficial wound, penetrating wound, perforated wound, puncture and stab wound. And according to the cleanliness, contamination, clean wound, contaminated wound, infected or septic wound, and colonized wound. So we will see superficial wound means the patient will have only the epidermis will get affected, there will not be any bleeding, and you can see the laceration on the skin of the patient will have abrasions on the skin. Second is the puncture wound. So puncture wound, you can see there is a small hole on the skin. So that is the main difference between the puncture wound and the penetrating wound. You can see there is a small hole over the skin, and puncture wound, it can cause injury to the internal cavity of the patient. Here you can see, here also you can see this a picture A, that is showing the uh, puncture wound. You can see the small hole over the skin here, and this one is the second B picture. As you can see, that is the penetrating wound, means the thing will go deep inside the cavity of the patient. Here also another example between penetrating wound and the perforating wound. You can see, you can only see the entry from where the object has been entered inside the body of the patient. You can see penetrating, it can be any nail, it can be thorn, it can be splinter. And in penetrating wound you can see the entrance and exit. So that is the difference between the penetrating and the perforating wound. Next is the clean wound and the dirty or infected wound. Here you can see clean wound, there is no infection. Dirty and infection means the area is colonized or bacteria get multiplied over the area. So there is one major difference between the contaminated and the this thing infected wound. So contaminated wound means the bacteria came into contact with the skin where the injury occurs, and infected wound means the bacteria get multiplied over that particular area. Next is the colonized wound. So in that the bacteria is adhered to the superficial tissue, had begun to form colonies without generating host response. It is not typically associated with delay wound healing. So this is the classification of the wound healing. Next, we will see the healing process. So there are four stages of wound healing. So we will discuss one by one. So first stage is the inflammatory phase. Second is the destructive phase. Third is the proliferative phase. And fourth one is the maturation phase. So first stage we will see inflammatory phase. So this phase starts within few hours after the injury and mainly about for 3 days. So in this many of the histamine secretes from the injured tissue. Mast cell will secrete histamines, so that can lead to the vasodilation of the capillaries, exudates of the serum, and blood cells into the damaged tissue. So leukocytes also reaches at the site of the injury. Neutrophils start ingesting the bacteria, and neutrophil will dies in few days. And after during this period only, monocytes that will transform into macrophages and clean the wound bacteria. As we know, macrophages, they will engulf the bacteria or dead cells. So this process continue about for 48 hours. Finally, a thin layer of epithelial tissue forms over the wound. Second stage is the destructive phase. So this stage lasts for 5 days. So macrophages that will continue its process, that is cleaning and stimulate the fibroblast. Third stage is the proliferative phase. So it will last for 3 to 24 days. So in this, what happen is fibroblast appear alongside the capillaries. So these together constitute the granulation tissue. So subsequently there is a epithelialization. So all the cells forming the surface of the epithelium, the area will be pink, more pink, just because new capillaries are formed in that particular area, and the area will be very soft and tender. And the next stage is the maturation phase. So in maturation phase, this will last for more than a year. So in this, capillaries, lymphatic, and endothelium buds in the new tissue disappears, and the scar then shrinks. The collagen scar continue to regain strength over several months. So these are the four stages of wound healing. Now we will discuss about the factor affecting the healing process. So these factors are divided into two: local factors and the systemic factors. So first we will discuss about the local factors. So first one is the oxygenation and the blood supply. So if there is an adequate oxygen and blood supply, that is more essential or crucial for cell functions, collagen formation, and immune response. Second is the infection. So infection, that is bacterial infection, delays healing by increasing inflammation and the damage, tissue damage. So moisture balance. So a wound that is too dry or too wet can hinder the healing. Then the pressure and the friction. So excessive pressure and friction can damage the tissue and it will delay the wound healing. Then wound size and depth. So larger or deeper wounds take longer time to heal. So healing also depends upon the size. Then foreign body and necrotic tissue. So the presence of the debris or dead tissues are slow healing and increase infection risk. Then the surgical technique. So proper wound closure and handling of tissue during the surgery also affect the healing outcomes. So if you will maintain proper aseptic technique, healing, the wound will not get contaminated with the bacteria and healing will take place early. Then second is the systemic factor. So in that, the age. So older individual may experience slower wound healing due to reduced cell regeneration. Then the second is the nutrition. So deficiency in protein and vitamins and minerals that will impair the wound healing. Next is the chronic disease. So conditions like diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, kidney diseases, they can impair the circulation and immune function. So that will also delay the wound healing. Next is the medications. So corticosteroids, chemotherapy, and certain immunosuppressants can also delay the wound healing. Smoking and alcohol. So smoking reduce oxygen delivery and excessive alcohol impair immune response and cell regeneration. Then the obesity. So excessive fat can reduce the blood supply to the tissue and increase risk of wound complications. Next is the immune status. A weakened immune system affects infection control and tissue repair. Then the psychological stress. So stress, chronic stress or depression can negatively impact the immune system, and that can delay the wound healing. Now, next we will discuss about the complications of the wound healing. So first is the infection. So when infection occurs or bacteria enters into the wound, leading to redness, swelling, pus, and sometimes fever to the patient. So it can also leads to serious infection like cellulitis, like abscess formation or sepsis if it left untreated. Second is the dehiscence and evisceration. So evisceration and dehiscence, that is the partial or complete reopening of the surgical or closed wound, and evisceration, the difference between these two, dehiscence means the separation of the skin, and evisceration means the organs from the internal organs that will come out from that opening. Then next is the hematoma. So a collection of blood under the skin that causing swelling and pain. Next is the delayed healing. So wound that fails to heal properly within the expected time frame. So common in patients with diabetes, those who are diabetes and those who are having poor circulation and having infection. Then hyperkeloid scar and keloid. You can see in the image also hypertrophic scar in the image here you can see. So this may occurs, that is the thick ridge scar within the wound boundary, that is the overgrowth of the scar tissue. Then the contractures, so excessive tightening of the scar tissue that will limit the movement, and especially it is seen in the burns patient. Then necrosis that will occur because of the lack of blood supply. Okay, so because of the lack of blood supply, the skin will dead and appear black or discolored, and it requires debridement that will promote healing further. Then fistula formation. So an abnormal connection between the wound and another organ or the body surface. Commonly it occurs after infection or poor surgical healing. Then the bone infection can occur. So if the wound is deeper or ulcer will spread to the infection to the bone, so then that will require the antibiotics or surgery to treat. After that the healing can occur. Then the sepsis, last one is sepsis. So it is the life threatening condition when a severe wound infection spread to the bloodstream, and that will sometimes it leads to the organ failure if it is left untreated. So these are the complications of the wound healing. So this is all about the wound healing. So if you like my videos, please like, share and subscribe. And if you want to see or if you want me to make the videos like this, kindly write in the comment section. Thank you so much. Thank you.